pandemic which is actually worse than coronavirus because it's of our own making. And the pandemic I'm talking about is the pandemic of institutionalized, entrenched racism. We've seen some ugliness in the country in the last couple of weeks. And I'm not qualified to discuss this with you because where the prejudice game is concerned, I was born with 4 races in my hands. White, male, English speaking, not poor. So I get I'm not qualified. I don't know what it's like to drive down the street and wonder if my life is in danger if I get pulled over for a minor traffic incident. I don't know what it's like to wonder if I'm not going to get a job because someone who has a lighter tone of skin than I do is competing for the same position. I don't know what it's like to turn on the television at night and see someone who I identify with being abused by the authorities. I'm not qualified. But I'm going to talk about it anyway. I might make some mistakes. I might use terminology or make generalizations that you don't all agree with. Listen to the message, not the words. I am genuinely sickened when I see inequality in any shape or form. I'm sickened when I see the weak being overpowered by the strong, particularly when the strong are armed and funded by the state, by me, by all of us. And I'm particularly sickened when I see a human being begging for breath as they gasp out the last few moments of their lives under the total control of people who could give it to them. It's disgusting to me. So disgusting, in fact, if I allow my imagination and my heart to take it far enough, it's almost overwhelming. The state must not overpower the citizens. The state belongs to us. We pay for it. It is us. When the state behaves badly, we're all behaving badly. It's easy to see this as a police brutality problem. And indeed there is brutality. And it should be stopped. There's no doubt about that. It should be stamped out. But to concentrate only on police brutality is to miss the bigger picture. The police are nothing more than a reflection of the society which arms them and funds them, which is all of us. Well, we should concentrate on that, and we should put an end to it. We need to solve the larger societal problems. And those societal problems, in my opinion at least, are driven by 2 things: ignorance and fear. And because fear comes from ignorance, it's mostly ignorance. We're ignorant of each other. We see each other in stereotypes. We see a black man or a white woman or Asian or whatever else. We don't see a human being, a father, a mother, a sister, a brother. Ignorance is shared by the police. In some states in this country, you can get a hairdressing license in less time than it takes to get a badge and a gun. How can we possibly be surprised if these things continue as long as we don't invest in the training and the intellect that's required to solve for these problems amongst the police forces? A lot of good police, by the way. One of my best friends is a police chief. I worked with the police for many years and I met some really bad apples and I met some good people too. But it's ignorance. Police are ignorant. They're not trained. They don't know who they're pulling over. They're terrified. The politicians who we all vote for are also ignorant. Most of them are white. Most of them are old men. They know nothing of the ghetto. They know nothing of poverty. They know nothing of hopelessness. They don't recognise the lack of healthcare and lack of education. They don't recognise the fact that while there are liquor stores on every fucking corner, there's no healthy food to eat. They maintain the status quo because it suits them. And then you inject Corona into this, and society's most vulnerable people take the worst hit, like they always do. The poorest and the most vulnerable always pay the most. The highest price. They're mad, go out in the street, they're protesting, and damn right they should protest. And they loot, and there's violence. I don't support violence, I hate it, I've seen enough in my life. And I don't support looting. I've worked for businesses and I don't want to see them destroyed by it either. But I understand it. Spend your whole life never able to get your hands on things that you see other people having on television and on your phones and all that sort of stuff, and then you see your people being brought down by the authorities to maintain that status quo. You're gonna loot. I would. I'd smash some windows. I'd take some shit. I don't condone it. I don't say it's right. And I agree that the police should try to prevent it. They should defend people's property and try and prevent the looting. But they should not do so in a way that prevents the fundamental right to protest in this country. The armed authorities, militarized armed authorities, should not break up protests. Good God Almighty, what kind of country would we live in where the authorities can command the military to break up protests? Your freedom of speech, our freedom of speech, our right of expression, our right to assemble. What kind of country would that be? Not America. I don't pretend to have the answers for this. Certainly not on a national scale. But I do say two things. The first thing is we must look at the bigger picture, the underlying fabric. That's where the problem is. Not the few bad cops. They'll be replaced. Many places they are. When they get done for shit in one neighborhood, they just get moved to a different police department. And again, they're in the minority, thankfully. But look at the bigger picture. Look at ourselves. Look in the mirror. Ask ourselves, what prejudices do we have? How do we treat other people? What assumptions do we make when we meet them? Do we read the book or do we look at the cover? So look at the bigger picture. And then the other thing that we can do, as is always the case, is we can affect the circle around us. Our little circle. Individually, and then as a company. And for the first time now I'm speaking about something that I have authority and expertise to speak about. As a company, we're going to affect the circle here that's in the company. And I look around this room and I see black, Asian, white, Hispanic, male, female, old, young. A magnificent group of humanity. A diverse group of humanity. And I am not colorblind. I have no interest in being colorblind. I love the diversity. I celebrate it. I don't want to live in a colorblind society. That's bullshit. I want to live in a society where everyone sees all the color, but grants all the opportunity and the equality that every human being deserves. What I see in front of me is a group of human beings. Stripped of your skin and your clothes and everything else, we're all identical. So what I'm going to pledge to you is that Envision Solar is today and will always be a place where opportunity is granted to anybody that warrants it, regardless of race, regardless of sex, faith, orientation, national origin, immigrant or otherwise. History, if you paid your price. Disability, if you can do the work. This will always be a place that grants opportunity to anybody and everybody that warrants it. My office is up for grabs. You want to be CEO of this company, just be better than me. strive to make our little piece of the pie the way we want the big pie to be. We will not tolerate the shit that we don't like in the big pie in our little piece of the pie here. I pledge that to you. And if everybody does that, then we're going to end this shit forever.